Oh, and welcome back to Second Factory. It has been a day. Let's see, where were we when we left off? Heck, I had just delivered silica and copper to my main. And I have just deleted 6 hours of because frankly, I was getting very frustrated. It's time for me to accept what's happened here. And so I got everything pulled back and I was very excited. I had everything but bauxite, so I built bauxite. I had just the one strip. And it looked good, and I had a triumphant unveiling, and it all worked fine. And then I noticed that the industrial fluid buffer for my water loop kept filling up higher. I was using a head lift reset facility, which is where you bring fresh water in and you put it through an unpowered pump, which resets its head lift. And that joins up with the recycled water coming this way, which isn't head lifted. They join together, and that becomes your water supply. Somewhere in here, this is all level, okay? Nothing higher or lower. Somewhere in here on this side of the head lift reset pump, you have a industrial water container. The idea is the water coming in that's fresh can only fill up a little bit. It's got zero head lift. I tried that. I put my water coming in through a head lift reset pump. Indeed, it only filled up the container a little bit. And then I hooked it up to my air, and we started getting recycled water. And then I noticed that the buffer tank is filling very fast. I noticed that all of my water coming in, I don't know, it just built up over time. It didn't go really, really fast. It was kind of like everybody was using fresh water. So I don't know what the deal is with that. I fiddled around with it, couldn't get it to work. Perhaps it worked right, and I just didn't. I even went back to the original video where I saw it tested. It said that it ran. I don't know if he ran it long enough to fill up the tank or not. So I really don't know. So I am going with the Mergeless, which I know works. So the blenders take in basically 6 parts water and put out 5. Okay? So that means that if you want to run 5 recyclers, if you have 6 recyclers putting out, they can run 5 recyclers. Fresh water coming, everybody's output loops back around, come the end. And we'll see if that works. Our limitation right now is we don't have the resources to build, so it's not going to be clear whether we are heading in for problems. We will be at least seeing what happens when we don't have enough. This guy is running with the fresh water, and he's the head of the list. We're not manifolding solids, we are splitting. So we're getting 1/6 of the bauxite running. We'll get a little over a 6 because some of the others are very well. This guy, I think, is the man on the totem pole for water. So he has a full load of bauxite and he's not accepting it. Creeps up to 6, he runs. End up getting a bunch out of there and some out of there and decreasing amount. This hasn't been running long enough to trust these instruments. That runs into guys. I rebuilt the foundry. Foundries I was using were cool and everything, all compact, and they had all of their belts wrapped up around the top. And I thought that was kind of the opposite of the look I'm going. So I grabbed my little blueprint for the 8 assemblers. Said, well, what if I just shorten this up a little bit? Well, these are now the same thing. It's these two, we get stuff coming across here, and half of it goes up there, and half of it gets stuff across here. Both come from here, so we have a splitter there that splits out. So on. So these are all these inputs are fairly split. That the one kind of input comes from this direction, and all reading. I looked at my assemblers and I thought, why am I raising the foundation assembly? Their framework is very big, and I can raise it so that it's too high or too low. So I put it back to normal. But to get the blenders doing what I want, I did have to go with. We eventually will put the other half in, assuming that casings had to adjust some of them. We can double this. I am trying to size everything for doubling it, not actually sized for doubling it. We have a number of resources that are belted in, and I think we have enough of those for the double size. In some cases, we don't even have enough. So, sulfur, need 25 per minute per machine, 12 machines, 300 just for this half. 300 is what we have because this is coming from a 250% overclocked mine. It's giving us 300. The bauxite is also giving us 300, but we need, I'm going to leave this need 150 bauxite per machine. 900 for this. Don't have anywhere near enough. Well, I haven't trained bauxite in yet, but I'm going to. I just basically tapped that one bauxite miner that was up there that we had our pilot plant on. And we're testing. This is verifying this factory can behave rationally when we are short on bauxite. Next inputs are silica. Those, we have 6 lanes of silica. Silica will eventually need 3,000 silica. So 3,000 silica requires 6 lanes. 500 per lane. 500 here. I actually have 1,500 silica. Half the silica. Got the one sand plant that I've run the train to, and we have plans to run We're good. This is all set up so that we can either have 2 trains dumping into here or the one train going out both of one. But this is more than enough capacity. The whole thing is arranged so that suppose we have 6 lanes of silica down there, we have 4 up here. 6 lanes split from the 4 down here. I just do a 46. I know these 4 are balanced properly. I could take them and do 2/3 of this one, 2/3 on that one. 6. Which means I've got 4 belts of 750, which kind of matches because we think that we can, whatever belt size we have here, we can do 1 full belt of that out. I have 4 750s, just 3. So this station should have capacity. Got a full load. Probably have a full load because we haven't in. We could, if we had the bauxite, we could be draining this at half the rate. It's our bauxite station. We're going to require 3 cars because we need 3 of our large belts. Let me put up the new checklist. So, for the fluid loop, we only need 60 water for the 3 slices. That's fine, because they're doing separate water for the foundries required the aluminum scrap, all the aluminum scrap plus the 1500 silica. Fine. Oh, copper. Down here, these guys. This is what I call the A configuration of production. This is when we are running all of the assemblers. And we actually have 12 assemblers doing all-clad casing. Check and make sure that I updated B. Make sure we've got exactly the same plan. So A is what we're running when we're basically taking our ingots and we're saying up to half of them go to the all-clad aluminum sheets, and it actually saturates the 12 buildings. And we're going to be turning out 360 all-clad aluminum sheets, and those are getting boxed up. So 120 goes in each box and then gets sent up. The other half gets 630 aluminum casing while we're doing it. At some point, the sheets are going to back up, and we end up with this, where all 12 of the assemblers making all-clad casing are running. They're downclocked, so they're fine. And they'll be turning out a total of 900 aluminum casing. Oh, I messed up. Because I'm putting all of my casings on. When we double the size of this, we're going to have 4 to go. Oh my goodness. This is actually a belt and a half here. It's easy. There. That does mean that we actually will have 3 belts of all-clad casing going back to the belts. Now, I think probably 2, but if not, extend this up. I am thinking that whole assume that we only get 1 belt in, 2 belts. Okay, but I do need 3 belts to bring it. So I just need to put the 3 belts into. That's easy enough. Pick the 3rd belt and just light it. When we put the other half in, if we do a full that, I think I just went with it. We do not have space for another. So what I would have to do oh, that was bad. Chew on. I have some. Need to make some more of those. I'll come back. Borrow the. At least they were the last time. I do it. And one. Oh. Basically, we're going to jog over plank one and be empty. Concrete. What's got me so stonkered? Reason why I just invested all of the. I really head lift reset was way to go. I know that the PIP deadlocks, and I tried so hard to make it work. Anyway, I think we ended up with a better factor, and so when we expand this, get out there. Could have done. There's the other just have to take the stuff that laps over from there to there and make it join up. Well, out of curiosity, I'm going to sample these. It's running 27% of it. Actually, that's not fair to look at this because it's going to be low rate because they're still making little machines. This guy's filled. Oh, this guy's filled. These guys should be running at rate. So we are really running low rate because we don't have very much resources. You can see we are consuming bauxite as it's coming in. We'll make sure I actually overclock the bauxite. That was that was a problem I had. The sulfur, for example, I had literally forgotten to put the overclocking. While we're at it, we can walk back so that I don't work on belts or anything. I have not yet calibrated to be able to look at that belt and say, oh, that's a Mark V belt with about this much, about 100. About 3. Mark II miner, 250%, 300, and it is running at 3. So we're getting 300 bauxite. Our requirement here is 750 plus 150, 900. Now running our factory down there at 1/3. What kind of node are we on? Hey, buddy. Bill has some heat sinks, had some turbo motors. This is a normal node, so we want the equivalent of 3 normal nodes on each half. As we can see here, there's a normal, so normal plus in 2 normal. There's another, there's a pure, so we are going to have to have the bauxite water in this. That's okay because we wanted to size it up, all that bauxite. If we're running at 1/3, that means we should be turning out 300 aluminum casings per minute if we're not turning out any sheets. So just, this is what a Mark V belt looks like at 300. Apparently our cover pack moves along forward at about this. So what do we do next? Well, obviously the next step is to chase down some more resources. We need more bauxite. I believe we need more coal, sulfur, further. Copper is probably just fine. Added up. Now it's a matter of sending out trains and pulling more resources to the factory. And I think I am going to something else rather than push on this because I have been beating my head with this thing. And let's do this with a shot way, diving into the trees and turn on bloody checklist. There we go. Well, the other thing I figured, if you are placing a pool, text bothers you, hit the T key. Anyway, good night. May upload a video or two on some game other than Satisfactory first time in 6 months. See you back in Saturday after I nail down which resources for, and I may lay down just a bulk bunch of straight rail going here and there to get things ready. But I will see you in the